to work and powering away with a couple of bounces. Harley Reid on full show, unbelievable!
What a player. He has helped transform a football club. Harley Reid in a sensational Sunday of football. They've caused one of the big upsets of the season, knocking over the Demons. The D's 3 of the last 5, which leads us into your first crack, Joey.
Yeah, well, look, we just watched the game upstairs together, the West Coast Eagles, and my gosh, what they are doing as a football club is phenomenal. The noise of affirmation now at Optus Stadium, not for the umpires, but for their players and the resurrection of this football club is enormous. I love the way they're going about it. Their box office, their must-watch TV. They're playing with this arrogance and swagger that is back for a team that has been kicked from pillar to post. The way they played today and beat up on a tough, professional Melbourne side that is always competitive. I haven't seen Melbourne get bullied and beaten like that too often in the last 3 or 4 years. It was an awesome performance. I mean, we'll talk about Jake Waterman, but he looks like plug a locket down there. And I mean, Jeremy McGovern looks as fit as he's been for years. Ruben Jinby and a few of the other young players are coming on board. It's just must-watch TV. It's awesome. The crowd are loving it, and I think what they have done in the competition, and credit should go to Adam Simpson, Kingy. There was a lot of people calling for his head, saying he wasn't the right man to lead them through this period of time, but he's shown that he absolutely is. They're starting to play a brand of footy that he's stacking up a lot of the ground ball and the movement. And then there's one kid. I don't know if you've heard about him, Hutto.
They found one,
Yeah, they found one. They've got this new kid playing for them named Harley Reid. Right. And, I mean, we've spoken a lot about him, so I'm not sure what else I can add. But just sit back, if you haven't seen this game, and watch some of the highlights he put on today, because once again, he was unbelievable. And the rest of the group around him, we know we've said it, are walking taller because of a 9-gamer, 19-year-old. I mean, this is one of the goals of the year. The crowd were going off their head. The players all lifted. It's just, I mean, phenomenal. And we can just sit back and watch this. We watched the game together, Kingy. How good is it?
It's amazing. And look, some players, and we're going to talk about all of them tonight, play like winners. And they drag people who are just sort of fumbling and bumbling their way through games of football and say, come with me, play with the energy and the passion that I'm playing with. And who knows where it takes us. He's going on runs. He's got no idea where he's going, but he knows he'll be able to break a tackle or two and he'll make something happen. And the will to win, it's impossible to measure, but we're going to talk about Zach Butters later, and we're going to talk about Petrarca. Like last week, we talked about Petrarca, we talked Dacos and Scotty Pendlebury and Chad Warner. This guy has it in spades.
So 21 disposals, 7 clearances, 2 goals, 10 score involvements, the most on the field. But what is also happening is they are making Optus Stadium a bit of a fortress again. So when you look there, round 2 was at home. That was disappointing against the Giants. But since then, round 5 was at home, that big win. Round 6 against Fremantle. Round 7 was round 8 was that close loss to Essendon by a kick, and then again against Melbourne today. Their next 3 games at home, round 12, they play St Kilda. They've got North Melbourne after that, and then Hawthorn. So they really should be going in confident they can win those 3 games at home. And who would have thought we'd be looking at 6, 7, 8 wins for the West Coast Eagles?
And Gold Coast and Brisbane play them later in the year at home, so they would have been thinking, oh, there's a win percentage boost, but don't be thinking.
And they're still going to be up and down. They're still going to have their issues, but
this has a greater effect on the full club, though. I mean, you'll be able to attract players to your club now on the back of what this one guy's doing. Come and play with him. Come and get on this ride that's going to go for a decade or more. It's such a marketable place now, and a lot of people come quickly for Adam Simpson. Really quickly and really severely. And I think a lot of credit's got to go to the back office. They could have walked him out multiple times, but they stuck fat and they backed the plan that they've all been united on. And these are the results. This is what good clubs do. You know, other clubs panic. Sack a coach, you're in turmoil and spun out of control for years. I think this is a lot of credit has to go to Don Pike and those around him. It's a very strong football club.
All right, well, the other player that's been extraordinary, as we mentioned, is Jake Waterman. And I can't think in recent times of a player in that position that has gone from being like an good average player, as you'd say. You know, obviously he had his illnesses and issues, just to become a player that is now equal leading the Coleman.
Phenomenal what he is doing. I mean, when you see some of these senior players now that are fit and healthy and playing their best football, I mean, they've made a massive difference. It's not just the kids, but you're right. Look, Waterman, it's continued. It's a sustained period of dominance. The amount of goals he's kicked in recent weeks. He looks strong. It doesn't matter if he's playing on someone bigger than him or smaller than him.
he can
He's
kick
marking
straight too.
He
That
marks
makes a
overhead. He wins it at ground level, and he's providing them a real target. You can see there now. It's a four-way go for the Coleman.
I want you to call him Plugger when you're calling
Plugger
him,
Waterman.
if you can.
They were calling him G-Train. We heard in the post game they call him the G-Train in the corridors, but we like Plugger Waterman.
All right, we